Hey, good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a great day. We're doing this Facebook Live thing this morning, and I wanted to talk to you about a couple key ideas regarding this idea of engagement. We're going to give this a go, and we'll see what happens. Today, when we talk about internal engagement, I want to talk to you about just a couple key things that could absolutely be huge and change everything with the trajectory and even some of the internal value systems of your organization. So there's a huge difference between internal engagement and external engagement. And so I think from a marketing perspective, we end up talking a lot about the marketing and the external communication of the things that are important for your organization, and that's cool. I love that. So don't get me wrong. But what I do as a coach and as a business strategist, a lot of times ends up coming down to the micro rhythms within your organization, and so they always come down to health, and they always come down to culture. So today, when we talk about internal engagement, this is something that's important, and I want you to catch this today. So the other day, I came home from work, and it was later at night, so it was probably after 9:30, 9:45, and I sat down at the table and I started to eat my dinner. And my daughter Chloe, she comes up to me and which by the way she just started. I can't even believe she's a freshman in high school now, which is absolutely crazy. But she comes to me and she says, "Hey, you want to go outside and play football?" And I'm thinking it's like close to 10 o'clock p.m. And in my brain, I'm thinking, no, you got school in the morning, you got this going on. No, like we're not going outside and we're not going to play football. But then in that single moment, all of a sudden these questions started to come up in my head. The first thing was just simply this: I didn't know that you could play football. I didn't even know that you could throw a spiral. But the second thing is this: I want to be in this moment. I want to make sure that I don't lose this moment, even though I'm tired, even though it's been a long day. I got a lot of noise in my head regarding work stuff and family stuff, but I don't want to lose this moment. Things change so fast, which by the way, she throws an actual pretty killer spiral. That was awesome. But things change so fast, and they don't just change within your family, but they change so fast with people that are on your teams. And there's some things that are going on behind the scenes in the lives of people that are on your teams that you don't even know about it. So internal engagement, this is one of the most important things that you could ever possibly try to get in tune with. And I want to give you just a couple things for you to consider today. One of the things is simply this: is that I remember while I was sitting at my desk, probably maybe about a year ago, randomly going through a bunch of different YouTube videos, and I came across this teaching by Gary Vaynerchuk. He's the president of Vayner Media, and I love some of his stuff. Now, he does go off the rail, and he does say some pretty edgy things at times, but the guy's brilliant when it comes to what he communicates for organizations and also for communication. But he says things along the way about this. He says when it comes to emotional intelligence, that emotional intelligence could be the most important thing that's talked about in an organization for the next decade. And I couldn't agree more. So when it comes to self-awareness, so here are the five pillars of emotional intelligence. So there's self-awareness, self regulation, motivation, empathy, and also social skills. So back in the 20s, when intelligence and IQ tests became kind of popular, they were actually tracking very tangible things, the things about which you know, so that would determine how smart you are and how much intelligence that you have. But there really wasn't a way to find out how you would actually operate in a real world scenario. So that's why EQ is becoming something that is so important, that people really gauge, and it's really important that you are connected with who you are and that you're connected with the environment around you. So emotional intelligence and internal engagement says that you're aware of who you are and that you're aware of the effect that you have on the surroundings that are around you. But emotional intelligence also says that you're aware of what other people in the room are feeling as well. A couple different leadership thoughts on this, and I can't hit home stronger on this, is that from my pastor church world experience all the way to now, is that I can't remind you how important it is for you just to take some time and to walk slowly through the crowd. Take some time and ask people, how are you doing? In fact, that would be the biggest challenge that I'm going to challenge you with this week. If you are a leader in an organization, if you're a boss, if you have employees that work for you, your perspective needs to shift, and it needs to shift quickly if you want to grow and if you want to break this barrier. Take some time this week to walk down your hallways and to peek your head into your staff's rooms, into their offices, and ask the question, how are you doing? And wait for the response and actually care about what they're saying. We have gotten so used to actually asking the questions like, hey, what's up? How's it going? As far as just placating, we say things like that just to throw it out there, and just as almost like passing by conversation. But if you're a leader, take some time and ask the question and wait for the response and care. That's going to change so much about how people perceive you, but it's also going to change the inner rhythms and the micro rhythms of your organization, to where when care and empathy are actually put into the value system of your organization, everything changes. So the second thing on this idea of empathy and emotional intelligence is that as you're talking to people about how they're doing, understand this, is that if you have a team, there's been a massive shift in this idea of, you don't hire people so they can do something for you, but you bring people onto your team and then you take responsibility to take them somewhere. So if Susie joins your team as an administrative assistant, but she has a dream of being a CEO 5 years from now, what are you doing to help her get there? This is a big deal. So we have an opportunity as leaders to be responsible for people, to help them grow, to serve them, but we don't have people that just work for us anymore. We have people that work with us. I hope that this has been something that's been helpful for you. I'd love to have your comments. Sorry for going a little bit long today. I hope you enjoyed hearing about Chloe throwing a spiral football, because that's probably the most important thing that I said. So, but I hope you're having a great day. I'll be in touch, but leave a comment below. Would love to check things out with you. Thanks.